Hello, everyone. It's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. Aaron, one of the Aptera ambassadors, and he's also part of our Discord channel. He messaged me a few days ago and told me about this cool website called importinfo.com. And if you look on here, you can search for Aptera Motors and see what imports are coming in by ship that Aptera Motors is the consignee for. Before I get to that, I wanted to kind of peruse the website with you. It's very interesting to look at all this stuff. All right, so it shows here the summary of imports into the United States, and they started collections on March 1st of 2019. It tells you like how many manifests are in file, 56 million. There's 3 million in the last 90 days. If you look at the top countries based on import records, you can see who are top, where we're importing most of our things in the United States from. And no surprise, it's mostly China. And if you look at China and you look at all the other countries, it looks like China is about the same number as all the other countries in the world combined. So number two would be India, Hong Kong, Vietnam, South Korea, and then Italy. So Italy is the first non-Asian country. So it is our greatest trading partner that is a non-Asian country. Then Taiwan, Germany, Japan, Thailand, France, Indonesia, Brazil, Mexico, Spain, Canada. I guess Canada, there's probably a lot more ground transport imports, and that's what's probably. I don't know if this is tracking only sea transports. My guess is that's the case, but maybe not. Maybe Canada is a pretty small economy actually. Other than oil, oil is pretty big in Canada, and I don't think it's counting oil imports. But if you so that's kind of interesting. I did not realize Italy was our largest trading import partner outside of the Asian countries. So if you go here, and then what's interesting is you do see kind of this drop off in around 2020. You know, when the pandemic hit, you see this big drop off here. Although there does seem to be a drop off in January for some reason. Um, and you see it kind of ramping back up. So it looks like supply chains are doing well. And you can see who the top consignees in the United States are. If you look at this, you'll recognize a few names like Walmart, Dole Fresh Fruit, Samsung Electronics, Amazon Logistics. So that's interesting. And then if you look at the top states, you can see that California is essentially the main hub of import. It's probably almost as much as all the other states combined. The number two state is probably New York. Let's look at New York. So yeah, 7 million. Texas is pretty high at 5 million. New Jersey, this New Jersey number is because of Newark and New York City are very close together. And if you look at this kind of map, you see like there's tons of huge circles overlapping each other in Southern California. That's because like Long Beach, LA, Orange County, these are all big ports and they have huge traffic and they're all close to each other. And so they overlap. And you see the other big site is New York and Newark area. And then you see Miami's a fairly big circle, but Miami's by itself. And then you have lots of tiny circles around Chicago. So that's kind of the distribution. And like Houston's a fairly big circle, but there's only basically one big circle. So Houston and Miami are kind of similar in that way. But Southern California obviously is the mecca of all import activity here. All right. So then I was most interested in looking at seeing if I could figure out where if CPC if I could find CPC on here. And so I looked at Italy, and then I looked at Modena, Italy, and so that's kind of that region. And then I went through every single city in Modena, and so this is I'm probably gonna butcher all these Italian names, Fiorano. And if you look at this place, it looks like they're mostly exporting tile. Because if you look at the importing companies, they're mostly tile and stone companies. And if you look at what port they're using Genoa and La Spezia. And so if you look at this, that makes sense because here's Modena right here, La Spezia is here, and Genoa is here. So those are the closest seaports to Modena. And then so I went through all of these. and I couldn't find CPC. This one is obviously a bunch of food. You can see a bunch of food and wine stuff. Trader Joe's is one of the major companies that imports that from this city in Modena. If you look at this, this is mostly looks like I can't tell what kind of stuff that they're selling. This looks more like industrial stuff, compounding and logistics, fuel tanks, that kind of stuff. And again, the ports are La Spezia and Leghorn. Now Leghorn is actually uh, Livorno right here, so that makes sense. Modena is fairly close to uh, Livorno here. And then this is another food company. And if you look here, again, Genoa and La Spezia. This looks like more tile. A lot of the recurring themes are tile, stonework, and food, which I guess makes sense. And you look at it's Livorno and La Spezia. And this place is more tile. This place is more food. This place is more tile. This is again food. You see the one of the greatest importers from this area is Costco, so and Del Monte fresh produce. So that looks like it's more like produce type stuff that's being sent out of this city in Modena. This one is more tile, more tile. Um, this one is I think like medical supplies. Oh no, this is more industrial stuff, like marine and heating, kitchen stuff. This one looked like more industrial stuff. And one of these was like a medical thing. Okay, more tile. And this is okay, yeah. So this one looked oh yeah, so this one's the medical company. Mirandola, Italy, which is another city out of Modena. And you can see here there's some medical stuff, medical distribution, renal products. Yeah, so this city seems to be more of like a medical, vital med, a medical supply place. And again, the ports are La Spezia, Genoa, or Leghorn. So I think if CPC was shipping something to Aptera, it's probably going to come out of one of these three ports: Genoa, La Spezia, or Livorno. Again, I'm probably butchering these Italian names. All right, so let's get back to if you search for Aptera Motors, what comes up is only 7 records. And some of this stuff we knew about and some of it is new. So it tells you here, here's the bill of landing, and you have to buy access. You know, you have to subscribe to their account if you want more information. And I didn't do that because I don't know that I could make heads or tails of what this thing says anyway. And then here's the ship that it came in on. It's pretty interesting. If you click on the ship, it tells you all the places this ship has gone. So that's pretty cool. And tells you how much it weighs, how many metric tons it can carry, all that kind of stuff. So pretty interesting if you're into that. And then some of these names like I've heard of before, like Costco shipping. I've definitely seen that as a container ship. And then this Maersk, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too. But that is, and then this NYK, I've never heard of them before, but they seem to be a shipping company that's between Europe and the United States. So if you look at this, the first one was in November of 2021 on the Glovis Condor, and that's coming in from Cherry New Energy Automotive. So this is stuff, they actually got some physical stuff from Cherry Automotive way back in November of 2021. And if you look at what they say it is, they say it's electric vehicles, 2 units, and about 6,000 pounds. So that makes sense because 3,000 pounds sounds right for a vehicle. So did they import 2 complete vehicles from Cherry Automotive? I don't know why they would do that. So, I'm not sure what this is. I mean, it says it's electric vehicles, but I don't know why they would get 2 full entire vehicles. And it says 2 units. But maybe it's just 2 boxes and it weighed this much and it was like electric vehicle like parts. That would make much more sense to me, but maybe that's what it is. Okay, so number 2 is from March of 2022. So, and that's a solar panel test chamber. So those are those solar panel test chambers that we have seen in their videos. And then in again, these three shipments all happened in March of 2022. And if you look at these shipments, this was a panel test chamber, a CNC machine, and plastic sheets. And then I looked up the system, Exelon Group, and what they do is they make these plastic sheets. They're a group out of Belgium, I think, and they make these plastic sheets. And I suspect what they were using is they were sourcing the plastic sheets for their encapsulation for their solar panels that they were developing. But now we know. Well, at least the outer layer is the last layer is glass now, but the internal encapsulation is probably there's still probably some polymers that they're using to encapsulate. It's not just a piece of glass over the solar panel. There's definitely more encapsulation than that. So there's probably several layers. So that's what that company was doing. So at that time, I believe this was all like getting ready for their solar panel stuff. So this was the big expenditures, and you can tell that this is heavy stuff. This is like 3,000 pounds, about almost 2,000 pounds for this 2,000 pounds of plastic sheets. That's a lot of plastic sheets. And then in July of 2022, they imported from Germany, from Hess Mechatronics, a high-speed heavy wire wedge bonder. And so I looked them up. This is Hess Mechatronics, and I'm fairly sure what they bought was stuff for making battery packs, because I don't know what else they would be using a wire bonder for. And so if you see here, it's used for battery cell contacting system. If you look up here, you see like these are the battery tabs going in. Yeah, so it's like a machine to do all this kind of fine wire work where it smart welds the wire onto circuit boards and like industrial level manufacturing of these like wire bonds. So I think, okay, so this is either for the bonding of their solar panels or for the battery pack. That's my guess. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. And then the next one was December of 2022. They ordered a ton of tires from Hankook Tire Company out of Indonesia, looks like. And then they shipped it out of Singapore. So this was over 1,000 pounds, about 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds of tires. And then the last thing was in April of 2023, and it was from this Dongguan Beston Ideal Industrial Company, which makes no sense to me, but it was polycarbonate covers, so more plastic covers. And I kind of try to look them up, but I could not find much information about this company. I'm not sure what they do or anything. So I am not sure. Tell me if you guys figure out what you think that this company did, but they bought from them. But there hasn't been anything that's been a big import. So a lot of their stuff is probably supplied from U.S. suppliers that have already imported it. So Aptera is not the direct importer of these products, but these are the things that they're the direct importer of. And obviously, I think when CPC ships out something, Aptera is going to be the direct importer of it. So I'm going to keep an eye out on this website and see if I can see when the anything from CPC comes into Aptera. And I think we should be able to know via this. I don't know what the lag on this is, but I suspect the lag isn't very long, maybe a day or two. And then we can figure out when the bodies from CPC come into Aptera, because I think it'll pop up on the list. Okay, so importinfo.com. Lots of fun website. Thanks, Aaron, for the suggestion. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.